2022, and plenty of reasons to look forward to the next season, just as we've enjoyed this, and we expect a similar front-running battle to what we've had in 2021. Let's hope.
Yeah, you certainly hope for it, and with Toprak and Jonathan Rea, you'd expect both of them to be very strong all the way through next season. Ducati's going to be interesting. You put Alvaro Bautista back on that bike, you expect to see him very strong.
And we even hear rumblings that if Toprak can manage to seal the World Championship, a certain Mr. Sofoglu is pushing for there to be a Turkish round back on the calendar, and would certainly like to go back to Istanbul.
Yeah, Istanbul. Of course, it's been gotten ready for World Championship action again, with Formula 1 returning there last year, so the track looks like it'd be still a fantastic place to go racing, and certainly the atmosphere would be something else. So with a bit of luck, that's something that can happen in future, because the Turkish fans definitely want to be able to see Toprak on a superbike, Can Oncu, Bahattin Sofoglu as well. There's a lot of good young riders coming through in Turkey.
Alex Lowe's back on track this weekend. Now, he's had a few aborted attempts to return from injury. He has been struggling with injury niggles throughout this 2021 campaign. Had a pre-season crash all the way back in February that sort of knocked him early on, but mainly the big incident in Barcelona. That seems like a very least on this.
And that could spring a bit of a surprise over the course of the weekend, but really for everyone, this is
President Joko Widodo, who was also on hand to inaugurate this circuit last week. The Asia Talent Cup was the first campaign, but Steve, today's sessions in themselves will also be fascinating. A totally new track for everyone, a blank slate, no data to call upon. Friday then becomes even more important than usual for riders and teams.
Yeah, nobody knows what to expect over the course of this weekend. There could be some torrential rain has been in the area in recent weeks as well, and that could spring a bit of a surprise over the course of the weekend. But really for everyone, this is a step into the unknown. This is where you'll spend this. Looks like it's going to whether you're looking at
style.
Yeah, I think especially for factor over the course of this weekend. Is he going to change his riding and his race style? I don't think so. That's not how Toprak is. But we could easily have an incident between those two riders, because we've seen so much close action between them all the way through this season.
Would he change his approach if he only needed a 10th position in the last race of the season?
I think if it comes down to Sunday, he can change his approach, but it's going to be tough for Toprak to do that. He's very adamant. He wants to stick to his guns and win the championship the way that he's been riding all the way through this season, and I think it's going to be interesting to see how he approaches it, especially on Sunday.
To be perfectly honest, if we do get into a situation of Toprak, razgatlıoğlu racing for race victories throughout this weekend, we wouldn't be surprised, and it would certainly not be something that would go against the grain, as it were. He's never pulled his punches throughout his World SBK career, and certainly not this season.
Yeah, and it's one of those situations where for Toprak, he knows how he's managed to get into this position, and he knows that on his days pretty much unbeatable, and I think he wants to make sure that this weekend he lays down a marker and shows that that's exactly what he's going to expect all the way through.
If anything, he's added an extra level to that since Assen in particular, a weekend where he was caught in the garage saying that's it, the championship's over. It was almost as if at that moment he said, well, from here on in, nothing to lose, because the championship in his mind, well, okay, in the heat of the moment, looked like it was slipping away from him. Jonathan Rea, 3 wins in a row. Toprak, a massive margin of points to recover. Twice he's managed to recover points and get back into the lead of this World Championship, and it's a lead that at the moment he doesn't look like surrendering.
Yeah, I think it's one of those situations where Toprak will look at the points that have gone amiss for him from a bit of bad luck. Jonathan Rea will look at the points that have gone away from him, and more often than not for Jonathan, it's been because of his own mistakes. He's had to ride on the limit, and we saw in places like Most and Donington Park and Portimao, he got caught out by that, and those 30 points added up very quickly for him, and over the course of the year the two riders have been very evenly matched. But you'd have to say, on the balance of how the season's gone, Toprak very much deserves to go into the championship decider with a pretty sizable advantage.
Those two retirements in Portimao in particular, very, very costly, both from front-running positions, of course. Earlier in the season, we mentioned Donington Park, race 2, race 1 in Most, all of those costly in terms of points. Ironically, this has been the one season where Jonathan Rea's typical strategy of just banking podiums would have left him there or thereabouts coming into this final round with Toprak, razgatlıoğlu. Precisely this season that Rea's mistakes have crept in for the first time in a long time.
Yeah, but the same